Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Apologies for the backdrop, but we're going to do the best we can with what we have. Um, so what I want to cover tonight is the dividend wheel strategy with high yield funds. So I'm going to share a Seeking Alpha page, and we will look at some of them. So the basics of the strategy is, to take your dividends and say Yield Max or other funds that pay a really high yield dividend. This has nothing to do, by the way, with the options wheel strategy. Let me get a screen share going here, and I will get into it really quick here with you all. Let me move this around here. Shoot. Bear with me here. This is going to be rough. Okay, let me share Seeking Alpha with you all. And okay, so let's start out with Coney. So the idea of the strategy is that if you're going to be in a stock or a fund like Coney, hold on a second. If you're going to get annualized over 100% or at least over 50% payouts, the idea is that instead of reinvesting the dividend and dollar cost averaging, you could just use the dividend to buy another yield max fund, another dividend ETF. Say you could buy some SQY. Say you could buy some Misty, or even NVDY. At the at the ex-dividend date, of course, when it discounts for the price of the dividend. So when you're getting these high yields, that's the concept of the dividend wheel strategy, right? You're taking high dividend premiums and then investing them into other funds, hence the wheel strategy, and then getting more dividends in the next fund that you invest in, and then compounding those dividends, then getting more incomes to maybe invest even in another fund and keep the wheel strategy going. So say then you might diversify into curve funds or defiance funds, or even like a JEPQ, or JEPI, or even one of the NEOS funds, to really get your portfolio diversified. So for these, say you were running this wheel strategy, you would take your monthly dividends, which if you had a lot of shares of, say, Coney, you could use them to buy, like I said, any of the other funds, SPYT, any of the other Defiance funds, or even the Roundhill weekly funds. Now, with Roundhill, you could actually be doing this on a weekly basis, since these are trading weekly. So that's the basic concept behind the wheel strategy. Now, speaking of Roundhill, we're going to get our dividends tomorrow. So I will do a video very early in the morning, actually. Welcome for those of you on. Greetings. Oh, we have a new Richard King. Dissector has taken his line. So haven't seen him since the last video. But anyway, we got the same comment regardless. So yeah, with the dividend wheel strategy, another idea you could do, of course, is take the dividends you're getting from Yield Max or some of these other funds and invest them in growth, like actual growth stocks with really good potential. And we talked about a lot of them yesterday. Well, Haitai, I would consider, more in its infancy, not like a mature growth company. But of course, you could look at like an Apple. You could look at even like a Google. Or even what was the other one we were talking about? Otis. That's one that Blake talked about. Or you could even look at like 4-Star or like Modine, one of the suppliers of Tesla, and you could use the dividends from Yield Max, ironically, to invest in the underlying, which even Jay himself has talked about. Yeah, what can we say? But salute to Coach in chat. Oh, welcome. Yeah, haven't seen you on in a while. I think you commented on a video earlier. But anyway, busy weekend. I'm out here shooting videos in the garage now. So this has become the new coaching headquarters for the evening. I know you all definitely are inclined to, listen to a financial guru talk from a garage, right? So this is definitely a first. Anyway, so, we got to make the best of it. But like I say, you could use the wheel strategy, which again has nothing to do with the options wheel strategy, but you could use the strategy to invest in growth. Like Jay has even said, you could take like 50% of the dividends and buy the underlying. What do I make of Beto? I actually have some Beto. I like it. Now, the YBTC fund that I looked at yesterday is actually based on Beto. So it's ironic because the Beto fund pays a dividend. The YBTC also pays a dividend. So it's like almost like a dividend derivative in a sense. It's like a dividend on top of a dividend. So it's very interesting for sure. But anyway, that would be the basic tenets behind the wheel strategy. So you could use it like with any of them, even with like MSTY. Um, of course, we got our first big fat $4 dividend in MSTY. So that's well over 100%. I want to say it's like 130 something percent. So yeah, I mean, you could, in theory, buy Ulti, YMAG, YMAX, MRNY, any of these. But like I say, I'm a big fan of like the 50-50 wheel strategy where you're actually using the dividends, ironically, to buy growth. So, like Jay said, 50-50 for it. Anyway, so I hope that makes sense. That's pretty much a summation of the dividend wheel strategy. I'm going to be on early in the morning to cover those Roundhill dividends as soon as they get announced. Hopefully, I answered the question on Beto. I feel like Litecoin is a better one too. There was definitely more upside to be had in Bitcoin. Like I see, who's that other YouTuber, Ethan Galsted? He does a lot with crypto and stuff, and he's talking about like becoming a millionaire with it. Of course, some of these people are taking big risks and putting like a lot of their net worth into it, but the risk is paid off with the halving and stuff. Let's see. Is anyone else having trouble with automatic dividend reinvestment of QDTE at Fidelity? I wouldn't know because I quit doing the DRIP program several years ago because my reasoning was in 2020, most of the stocks out there were hitting all-time highs, like right before COVID. Oh, there he is. Your line has been taken, but welcome anyway. So the reason I stopped doing that is because most of these stocks were hitting 52-week highs, and I don't want to keep buying in at 52-week highs. So I just decided to quit doing it automatically and just decided to do it myself. And I basically created my own wheel strategy. You could call it the coach's wheel strategy, where I just invest in whatever I pick, basically, with the dividends. So anyway, that's the basics of it. Just wanted to put a short one out describing that tonight. Hopefully some light bulbs went off. Anyway, so like, comment, and subscribe, and join Discord if you haven't already. And we will see you all bright and early for the Roundhill dividend announcement. Should be around like 7 a.m. or so. All right, take care. Have a good one. Bye.